To anyone who says, "This is not my problem," you couldn't be more wrong. It's all of our problem. For years, the human race has taken things that we don't want and dumped them on other species' habitats. We have taken away the beauty of their home, and now the creatures are being killed by something they didn't even know existed. This problem has gotten so bad that there are patches of plastic in the ocean that are bigger than countries. And we've allowed it to get to this. Everyone said, someone else will fix it. And by passing the blame, they felt like they didn't have to do anything. But now the problem is, we see that no one did anything. It's way bigger now. Some people think it's too late, that the damage is already done. Yes, it will be difficult, but we have to fix it. While people who have power sit and debate whether this is even happening, thousands of creatures are dying. They are suffocating on something they thought would help them survive.
I'm Jennifer Harris. I am the manager of the Waterford One World Centre, which is based out of Dunhill in County Waterford, Ireland. The project we are speaking about today, called How We See the World, is really about bringing together young people and global education. And I had been thinking a lot about better ways to link the two and how to really engage young people around the issues in global education. And so thought through an arts approach that we would be able to really connect with kids on these issues. And so we brought together 4 amazing facilitators from the Waterford area. And this particular season we held a camp for a week, and all of the young people worked really hard and really put together some amazing stuff in a very short period of time under the direction of the facilitators, who I can't speak highly enough of.
Hi, I'm Martina Collender, and I've been working on the spoken word and the theatre aspect of How We See the World project. So we started on Tuesday, which was only 3 days ago, and we're on tomorrow at 2:30. So it's been a fascinating process. We've been working with a group of young people, and we came in here on Tuesday morning. We didn't have a clue what we were going to do. So Jen gave us loads of information about how plastic is affecting our oceans, and we then worked with young people on how they would like to portray it. So we've ended up with about a 40-minute piece of portraying the horrific effects of plastic on our oceans and trying to leave the audience with a good message of something they can do to help by reducing the use of plastic coffee cups and using a reusable cup. So I worked with young people specifically on spoken word pieces, which will be performed live while there's movement going on behind it. And also we've recorded some of them, so they're going to be projected, and we've combined spoken word with music. So I've loved it. They're brilliant. They're a fantastic group of young people. They've been up for everything, and it's just been loads of fun.
Growing beneath the grown, to traipse in your elder's shadow, carrying with greater and greater difficulty the burdens of the world, as though it weren't mostly water. Does it all weigh upon your conscience, or have you drowned yourself of responsibility and choked on the weight of your actions? Because somewhere now on a sheet of ice is a number, a mother bear cast in white with not the mind to wonder why she floats to die on a sheet of ice because of something she can't control. Just another rogue statistic, a burial in graphs and photos that sink in the eyes of a bunch of kids who can never see why we don't recycle, why we don't care, and why murder is such a human thing. Live for yourself, they'll say, but the world you inherited is a selfless place. It gave you your few breaths to take, and yet you use them to take others away. The world might be your oyster. What about the rest of us? Of them? No, this is not your world. You own no more than the space between your pockets and what you throw away in plastic bottles.
Okay, take a moment, take a breather. So you met Sally.
My name is Enda. I was doing movement, choreography and circus as part of the project. It it was a really interesting process. I really enjoyed it. The young people were absolutely fantastic and responded really well to it. I was trying to bring more of a watery element to the project. I just recently had passed my beach lifeguard exams, so a lot of the stuff I was working on was trying to educate the young people about rip currents and about the ocean and how to survive in the ocean, as well as what is in it and how to protect it.
I like the ocean likes me.
We focus on oceans and the impact of plastic pollution on marine life, the oceans itself, and just the planet and climate change. And we explored all those issues over the course of the week. And the young people created written word pieces, songs, dance, movement, and brought together this really neat piece that they performed for a pretty much sellout crowd at the Garland Arts Centre in Waterford City.
Oceans! What you call it bottle, I call it poison. What you call it bag, I call it misery. What you call it nothing but junk, I call it nothing but pollution. We have produced more plastic in the last 10 years than we have in a whole century alone.
I'm music director and creative producer for How We See the World. For this project, that meant that Jen would approach me from One World Centre to put together a group of facilitators and to get a sort of collaborative process going. So we did that, and then entered the young people, who are an incredible bunch of young people. They're so creative and expressive in sound. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with. And so we started a kind of a devising process at the start of the week. Put together this wonderful show. We're about to go on stage. It's really, really exciting. I've learned an awful lot from the young people and from Jen about the oceans and about what we need to do to protect them and to protect the world in general. So it's been wonderful, and I'm delighted to be here.
Everybody go to the toilet.
Not on airplane mode.
Hello.
Someone
throw me out a tuner. Ukulele tuner.
What we're going to do is, you have the controller. I'm going to hit record. I'd like you to wait for 3 Mississippis. In your head, just go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then just kick off. Yeah. So, camera recording. My name is John Loftus. This project's How We See the World. Aideen had asked me as a projectionist and a video man to come along to help facilitate the amazing group we have here of artists and magicians and circus folk. Musicians and actors to kind of facilitate the film aspect of the project, and together we've created some striking visuals with strong, powerful messages, and just delighted to be part of the project.
We ship quite a bit overseas to be recycled. Some of it ends up in a landfill, but more than you can imagine ends up in our waterways and into the ocean.
The very clear message that came out of the performances from the young people was really about that it's our responsibility to take action, and it's our responsibility to take action now. And we really don't have the option of waiting any longer. We're at that sort of critical point where right now we are the last generation that's going to be able to act to make a difference on climate change. If we let it go too long, then we're past the tipping point and there'll be no going back. And the kids really, the young people really embraced that message. And the last scene where they chose what they wanted to speak to the audience, and that was them essentially imploring the adults of their world to get to work and start fixing this, or at least give them the opportunity to fix it if we're not going to.
Hot noodles for lunch, Chinese for dinner. As you eat,
between facilitators and a group of young people, we've come up with a couple of solutions that we can do in our everyday lives and to pass the message along, so hopefully there'll be a difference made.
The message that we actually need to clean up our act and we need to clean up the plan. So hopefully that message went across, and also the young people are leaving with that message as well.
We also, in addition to the facilitators, really would like to thank our funders for their support of this project, which is Irish Aid under the Development Education Scheme. We think this is incredibly important work, and we're just really happy that we are able to continue to work with young people. This project will keep going forward, and we look forward to working with more young people and showing you what they can bring together.
I actually do. I love the ocean and I love cake. It's amazing. Thanks so much.